Hello and welcome to this edition of FYI Weekly, your official source for City of Greensboro news and information. In City Council news, the property located at 734 South Elm Street is approved for sale to Lidl for the purpose of building a grocery store. This will be full size, between 25,000 to 36,000 square feet, to include parking in the South Elm Street redevelopment plan area. The public has expressed a need for a grocery store regarding plans for the area, which is food insecure as defined by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. City Council also approved a revision to the Code of Ordinances to create a new category of on-street controlled parking in areas zoned traditional neighborhood. This addresses concerns related to on-street parking access in the South Side neighborhood. A controlled parking permit allowing both residential and small business parking permits will be issued by the city manager. Finally, in City Council news, City Council renewed a lease agreement with Bryan Park Golf LLC for the management and operations of Bryan Park golf facilities. The Bryan Park complex includes 2 award-winning 18-hole golf courses, a restaurant, pro shop, practice putting facility, practice range, tennis courts, and the Bryan Park Enrichment Center. Guilford Works is extending the deadline to complete its Great Resignation survey in hopes of increasing participation. The survey will remain open through Monday, March 21st. The survey seeks to better understand Guilford County residents and their unique concerns and motivations regarding rejoining the workforce. Some preliminary findings from the survey include 32% of respondents are not actively looking for work. A third of respondents are currently unemployed, while another 6% work fewer hours or make less income. 19% of respondents feel they are unqualified or do not have the necessary training for many available positions. With more than 50,000 job openings in Guilford County, Guilford Works aims to use the survey findings to provide insights and solutions for job seekers struggling to find work and local businesses seeking to fill vacancies. Additional results will be available on the city's website after more data is collected. Drivers in Greensboro will encounter occasional lane closures and delays from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. through Wednesday, August 31st, due to a water line rehabilitation project. Crews are working in the following areas: Lincoln Street from East Gate City Boulevard to Gorell Street, Duke Street from Douglas Street to Gorell Street, Gorell Street from South O. Henry Boulevard to Lincoln Street, South O. Henry Boulevard from Gorell Street to McConnell Road from East Washington Street to South English Street, and Gillespie Street from East Market Street to McConnell Road. Directional signage and traffic cones are in place, and motorists are encouraged to use alternate routes to avoid the area. Dates and times may change due to weather or last-minute changes in the work schedule. The water rehabilitation program is funded by water and sewer rates. For more information, call the 24-hour emergency number at 336-402-5253. The city developed a partnership with Cone Health to share a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to make better choices when it comes to healthy living. Following these tips is an easy way to help each of us improve our quality of life. Let's take a moment to check out today's news for your health.
Every 40 seconds, someone in the United States has a stroke. My name is Jessica Jarvis, stroke response nurse at Cone Health. I'm here today to tell you about the signs and symptoms of stroke and how to prevent them. The #1 risk factor for stroke is hypertension or high blood pressure, and it's preventable by eating a healthy diet, exercise, and taking the medications that are prescribed by your physician. Some of the other risk factors are managing your diabetes, your high cholesterol, and stopping smoking if you're a smoker. And those are all also preventable with healthy diet, exercise, and healthy lifestyle. Heredity is a risk factor, so if someone in your immediate family has had a stroke, you're at risk for a stroke. Also, you're at risk if you're African American, and also more women have strokes than men. FAST is a good acronym to help you remember the signs and symptoms of stroke. F is for face, You can ask the person to smile and see if their face droops. A is for arm. Have the person lift both of their arms to see if one arm drifts. S is for speech. When the person talks, you can see if their speech sounds slurred or strange. And T is for time. Time to activate 911 to get the person help as soon as possible. And EMS is the best way to do that. Treatment doesn't normally start with EMS, but they start gathering information that's important for us when they get the patient here to the hospital, as well as they are often able to notify us prior to the patient arriving to the hospital that they think the patient's having a stroke. We have a team called the stroke team that gets notified, and that includes myself and a neurologist and the ED team, and so we're able to get that patient treatment very quickly because we have a team that's focused on stroke. You should never take the person to the hospital yourself because it delays treatment. We see many people aren't able to have the treatments that we're able to provide because their family delayed in getting the person to the hospital. If you're ever concerned that a patient might be having a stroke, it's better to call 911 and get the patient to the hospital than to wait around and see if the symptoms get better, because usually they don't. It's important to act quickly when you think a person is having a stroke because most of our treatments are time sensitive. One medication that we use can only be given within a short amount of time, and many of our other treatments and surgical options are more effective if they're done quicker. I think the most important thing is for our community to know that stroke is a medical emergency. We like to call it a brain attack, so it's important for patients to get care as soon as possible and to call 911 so that they can get treatment as soon as they can. Thank you for joining me today. For more information about stroke prevention and treatment, go to conehealth.com/stroke. And just remember, for any signs and symptoms of stroke, act fast and call 911.
If you notice flames and hear loud noises in the New Garden Road, Lawndale Drive area, don't be alarmed. And her story is being told by notable women with local ties as the library honors Women's History Month. We'll have those stories and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. Piedmont Natural Gas is scheduled to perform routine pipeline maintenance until Thursday, March 17th. The work is taking place near the intersection of New Garden Road and Lawndale Drive. Residents and passing motorists may notice flames in the work zone as technicians burn off excess natural gas from the pipelines. This work may also result in loud noises and the smell of natural gas in the air. According to Piedmont Natural Gas, the work is safe and controlled. They perform in cooperation with the fire department. If you have any questions or concerns, call Scott Jenkins, project manager with Percheron Field Services at 704-997-8104. The Greensboro Public Library is hosting the Her Story series during Women's History Month beginning March 18th. Hear from some very notable women with local connections. Dr. Mabel Springfield Scott, author of the new memoir 38128 King's Kids, Nobody Said We Were Poor, will present at 5 p.m. on Friday, March 18th at Central Library on North Church Street. Dr. Scott will share memories from her childhood and what it was like to grow up in the segregated South of the 1950s. Felicia Brown, founder of Balance Day Spa and one of 19 authors featured in Scars to Stars, Stories of Vulnerability, Resilience, and Overcoming Adversity, will be featured at 5 p.m. on Friday, March 25th at Central Library. Scars to Stars was created to promote mental health awareness, to give hope to anyone who is struggling, and to help prevent suicide. Learn about North Carolina-born comedian Moms Mabley with historian Dr. Tara Green at 2 p.m. on Saturday, March 26th at the Hemp Hill Branch on West Vandalia Road. Dr. Green is a Black feminist, community-engaged scholar, author, and UNCG professor. Last but not least, the city's Chief Equity and Inclusion Officer, Maria Hicks-Few, will discuss her book, From Cocoon to Butterfly, The Story of a Warrior, at 5 p.m. on Friday, April 1st at Central Library. Hicks Few will share reflections on balancing family, career, and caretaking while battling breast cancer. These Women's History Month events are free and open to the public. For more information about library events and resources, visit the library's website. The city's Transgender Task Force will host its monthly community meeting at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, March 16th. Participants and the public can join the meeting via Zoom using meeting ID 967-7312-6553 or dial in by phone at 301-715-8592. The Transgender Task Force was created with the support and direction of the city's Human Rights Department to address the varying needs of the transgender community in Greensboro. The task force examines rules, policies, and procedures that create discriminatory barriers for those who identify as transgender. The success of the task force is based on community participation by those who are directly impacted. For more information, call the Human Rights Department at 336-373-2038. Construction is underway at a popular Greensboro park, and registration is currently being accepted for summer campers. Coming up after the break, we'll have an update on the programs and projects in the Parks and Recreation Department. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. Greensboro is known for its award-winning parks, and there is no shortage of recreation programs available year-round to residents of all ages. Joining me now to talk about what's on tap for the summer and to provide updates on some key projects is Jennifer Hance. She is the Community Engagement Coordinator with the Greensboro Parks and Recreation Department. Hello, Jennifer. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for joining me. Now, it might seem early to some people, but you are preparing for summer camp.
Yep.
What options will you have available this year, and will camp be virtual?
So we're really excited that we're going to be all in person this summer. It sort of feels like, knock on wood, we're returning to normal a little bit. We have a wide variety of camps though within our department. We have our traditional recreation center camps, which are an all-day camp for kids 5 to 12. You're going to do a lot of those traditional camp activities, camp games, playing, movies, going to the pool, playing outside, doing different sports, all sorts of really fun things. We also actually have a sports camp at the Greensboro Sportsplex. That's for 6 to 12-year-olds. And that is really exploring all the different sports out there. They explore, soccer, baseball, basketball, volleyball. I believe they're doing some field hockey this year.
Oh, wow. So
it's a great opportunity to get out there and sort of see what different types of sports you like. And then out at Lake Higgins, we have our Extreme Teen Camp, which is 12 to 15-year-olds. And that really is an outdoor adventure camp. So it's an opportunity for youth to get outside and kayak and boat and pedalboard and sail and hike and do all sorts of different things. So they will do some activities at the lake, but then there's also field trips where they go out and do different outdoor adventure things throughout the city and the state.
Okay. Well, I know Parks and Recreation is so vast. You have so many programs. Are there other summer programs for youth and adults?
Absolutely. We really try to be sure we're reaching everyone in the community. If you don't necessarily want to attend camp in a traditional way, we also have counselors in training. And so those are for sophomores, juniors, and seniors in high school to come and experience what it is to be a camp counselor and get some service learning hours at the same time. Through our youth services, we also offer some sports clinics. So we're offering them this year on disc golf, regular golf, foot golf, and pickleball. And so those are really a lot of fun. They're actually $25 and you get a piece of equipment to take home with you.
Nice.
So it's a great way to get introduced to some of these things that maybe you've always been curious about and wonder what's going on with those sports.
Now, registration for Red Zone football
Yes.
is on April 1st. That opens on April 1st. Is there something unique about Red Zone football?
Red Zone football is really exciting. We've partnered with High Point and Thomasville actually to create more of a travel league feel for our football program. So that is for youth 5 to 14. So that's really a unique experience to be able to get that rec football program, but also get some of that travel league feel as well.
Nice.
And really build up your confidence and your ability to play. We also have cheerleading that falls within our Red Zone football program. So we have opportunities for cheerleading and football.
And it's nice that you're giving kids that exposure at an early age, and then they can kind of feel their way through.
Yep.
Now, we are known for mascots. master plans, and we will never move forward with anything without one.
So true.
Now, the aquatics master plan is what you're working on now. How can the community support that effort?
Yes, we're really excited about the aquatics master plan. It's an opportunity for us as a department to really take a look at what we offer in the way of aquatics in Greensboro to the community, and then get feedback from the community to understand what they're looking for. So right now we do have 4 traditional pools, 2 spray grounds, and 1 indoor pool. And we're looking at how can we take those pools and spray grounds and take them to the next level. So we do have an online survey that people can find on our website or our social media platforms, all of which are GSO Parks and Rec. Take that survey. It's a brief survey just to give us feedback on what we currently have and what people would like to see. We're also going to be having some pop-up events where we'll bring some really cool visuals and people can come out and share their ideas of what they'd like to see as far as aquatics goes in Greensboro.
Perfect. So this is similar to your plan to play process where you were setting up in different communities, different neighborhoods, and very interactive and engaging.
And that's our goal, is we really want feedback from the community. Aquatics is something that's always shifting and changing. And so we really want to be sure we're staying on the forefront of the trends and what people want within the community.
Perfect. So I know that will be successful, and again, we want folks to take the survey. And Country Park is a very beautiful space, and it's so tranquil when you get a chance to go out there. There is some construction going on. Can you give us an update on where that is?
We have a lot going on at Country Park right now. We're anticipated to be done with our construction before summer, which we're really excited about. But we're doing a lot of changes out there. We have the dog park, which was traditionally on the other side of the lake. We have moved to the same side as the Science Center side. We put a new parking lot right there as you come in off of Lawndale, which is going to expand our parking, which has always been a little bit of a challenge out in that facility. And then as you keep going up the drive there, we have the new Hillside project, which we're so excited about. We have a zip line that will be opening that will go across the lake. We also have a canopy walk, which is a walkway that's literally raised up above the ground, so you can walk through and see all the things underneath. We're putting a new shelter out there. We have restrooms that we're putting in. And then we're also making an area for food trucks. So it's going to be even better to have events out there because there'll be these dedicated spaces for food trucks to come in.
Wonderful. Well, I love how you're taking what looks like an older park. I don't know if I'm speaking accurately. But
it is our original park, built in 1933.
I love how you're bringing modern elements, the food trucks, and all of the zip lining, and just making it more inclusive. Anything else that you want to add? I know you'll come back and give us updates on other projects and programs, but we always appreciate you stopping by. You've got a lot going on. And we remind folks again, the Aquatics Master Plan survey. When is the deadline? Do you need that?
We're going through the end of March on that.
Okay, so still time to take that survey.
And we are hiring for the summer as well.
That's right.
Would be remiss if I did not mention that. We have a lot of part-time summer positions that are open right now, for camp counselors to head camp counselors to working at our spray grounds or working out at our lakes. So we have lots of opportunities on the job board as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Jennifer. It's always good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
And look forward to you coming back again.
Absolutely. Look forward to it.
Thank you. Stay tuned for some useful information about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. One way to stay informed about decisions that impact you and our city is by attending or tuning in to City Council meetings at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesday of the month. The fourth Tuesday is reserved for a meeting as needed. The City Council has resumed meeting in the Katie Dorsett Council Chamber on Level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building located at 300 West Washington Street. The public is allowed in person, but only in a limited capacity. Those who choose not to be in the building can participate virtually. The Greensboro City Council meetings are broadcast right here on GTN. The meetings are also streamed live on the city's website and on Roku. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit the city's website. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. The Planning Department is working with the Greensboro Housing Development Partnership to accept electronic proposals for mixed-use development. This involves a property within the Martin Luther King Jr. Drive North Initiative of the Ole Ashboro redevelopment area. The 4-acre plot is located at 802 Pearson Street. The property is part of a focused redevelopment effort by the city and community residents. The deadline to submit proposals to the Greensboro Planning Department is Tuesday, March 29th. Proposals should include residential and commercial components and incorporate the downtown greenway, which cuts through the property. The request for proposals contains all the necessary information. A question and answer period closes on Tuesday, March 15th. That information will be posted on the project website. The price of the property will be determined according to fair market value and is negotiable based on demonstrated gaps in the development budget. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our department spotlight, but first, let's meet our neighbors who boomeranged back to Greensboro.
Westerwood just is the art and soul of Greensboro is what I call it, really. It's this eclectic, just very diverse, very cultured.
Kind of the same way. I mean, it's an artist neighborhood, and I love like Daniel Park that we're in right now. Beautiful for walking, and Westerwood Tavern, good for hanging out.
My name is Natalie Miller. I'm the owner of the historic Magnolia House in Greensboro, North Carolina. Moved back to take on the family business and to carry on the legacy and do the important work of sharing the historic Magnolia House's narrative and all of the other African American sites here in the area.
I'm Tal Blevins. I'm the owner of Machete Restaurant here in Greensboro, and previously I spent 20 years as a tech journalist in San Francisco. Greensboro really offered us the opportunity to start our own business because it had a lower cost of living, and it also had a lot of open retail area for us to be able to look at. We started as a pop-up out of our house just to kind of test our concept for Machete Restaurant, and then we were able to find a space and we were able to kind of live our dream.
What's really awesome that I was really impressed by when I first moved here to the Westerwood neighborhood, we have this annual event where all of the neighbors are invited to showcase their art on the porch. And you go to these people's houses and you see what they do outside of their 9-to-5 selves, and it's amazing.
So when we were looking for houses in Greensboro and we were driving around Westerwood neighborhood, we love the different architectural styles here. We have a 1920s arts and crafts house, which has got a lot of character, which is something we wanted. We have fantastic neighbors, so it just had all the amenities that we wanted, as well as being close to downtown too.
Welcome back. The City of Greensboro has more than 20 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. Short-term rentals and how to regulate them will be the topic of a discussion in a series of meetings hosted by the Greensboro Planning Department. The public can attend 2 virtual information sessions about proposed short-term rentals, which generally include the rental of private homes through services such as Airbnb and Vrbo. The meetings will take place via Zoom on Thursday, March 17th at 12:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. The Planning Department does not have a definition for this type of growing use of private property and currently regulates its use under the broader category of tourist homes, also known as bed and breakfasts. The city has been studying ways to address this type of rental use to encourage additional visitors and investment in Greensboro, while also limiting impacts on existing residential areas. To register for either session, send an email to Mike Kirkman and advise if you will attend the daytime or evening meeting. To review the draft regulations for short-term rentals, please visit the city's website. Straight ahead on the other side of the break is this week's Way to Go GSO shout-out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO shout-out. This week's shout out goes to Disney's The Lion King. The Broadway production continues to reign across North America with a record-breaking sold-out premiere engagement in Greensboro at the Stephen Tanger Center for the Performing Arts. The award-winning musical broke 2 records during the week ending March 6th. It was the highest grossing week, raking in nearly $2 million. The show had the highest one-week attendance with more than 23,000 guests. The triumphant 2-week run from February 23rd to March 6th grossed more than $3.6 million at the box office, entertaining nearly 46,000 theatergoers during 16 performances. Way to go, The Lion King. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Alexa users can subscribe to our 5-minute flash briefings, which airs on 90.1 FM and 100.7 FM. Be sure to download our weekly podcast, Talk City Greensboro, and now GTN is streaming on Roku. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.